another Exchange Place podcast. This is your host, Deborah Faith.
Yes.
And who we got in the building today?
I ain't been here like forever.
I know. It's been like a little over a month.
I'm an associate of the show now.
You are still a friend of the show.
I went from a friend to associate.
Yeah,
we always talk about relational intelligence. I
know.
think she downgraded me.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We got, as you guys can hear, Amber Juice Girl Dixon in the house.
What's up?
What up?
You know.
We haven't seen you in a while because we had the men on.
You're right. It was Men's Month. Let me tell you how much I really enjoyed that.
You and me both. What did you enjoy about it?
I love just to hear the male perspective. It really shut me up in a lot of different ways, and it made me see myself and the role that I played in a lot of those situations. I don't like to keep saying I'm an alpha female anymore. I do have a strong mind and personality, so I can be very boisterous, and that month allowed me to just sit back and listen.
See, it was good that you weren't here then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had the same experience. It was interesting to sit in the room with those guys. Thanks again to them. Shout out to all of them.
All dope guys.
We're gonna bring some of them back. But I thought
bring them back with me. I'm ready.
I learned a lot, and I think a lot lot of people did.
Yeah,
we took a break last week.
Yes, some breaks are needed.
They're needed, and we
took a break last week.
Yeah, we only got like 4 more episodes in the season.
Oh,
anyway.
sucky now. Okay, exchange. That's what's up.
This is episode 17.
Whoa!
Right?
Whoa!
Right? Can you believe it? Can you guys believe it?
Amazing!
I know.
Amazing! You all over the world too.
I was about to say I'm so grateful.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of me too. And
well, give yourself your flowers.
Yes, I never would have thought. Now I think Egypt, South Korea,
amazing. Netherlands,
I don't
Japan,
even know Japan, Mexico, Puerto Rico. The list goes. I'm
dope.
excited. Thank you guys for listening and tapping in. So today I figured we had the male perspective about relationships and relational intelligence and all of that. So I thought it'd be interesting to see the other side of the spectrum. And I figured who should we bring on to start
Don't get me in trouble now. You see where my energy is today.
I know. For y'all that's watching, if y'all not watching on YouTube and y'all listening to this on whatever platform you're listening to, Amber has on a shirt that says, "Send money, not what you doing."
I mean, listen, somebody told me to manifest, so I'm going to walk around in my manifestation. Send money, not what you're doing. Let's cut to the chase.
You know what? I can't. She playing y'all.
Yes, I'm playing.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda. But I wanted to talk about what women wish you knew about them and what we want.
Okay.
So,
I could name a bunch of things.
You can name a bunch of things that you want. You start with me. Let me know what you want.
So even just listening to that, what I would first say is that what I wish men knew is that we don't always want to be strong. As much as as much as we do things with grace and efficiency, we don't always want to.
Yeah.
Some days we wake up and we just want someone to have it figured out for us too.
So we want help.
We want help. We want help. We want assistance. I could definitely say that for me. I feel like a lot rests on my shoulders. I always say that even like right now I'm on a dating hiatus. Funniest thing, past few days ago I actually wrote love on my vision board too.
Me too.
And I have not written love. Yes, I have not written love on my vision board in 2 years. And I think I don't want to say I'm on a hiatus, but I am.
When you say hiatus, what do you mean?
Meaning
exactly?
I don't casually date at all anymore.
Okay, I haven't been on a date. This is probably TMI, but there's no TMI in the exchange place. So I haven't been on a date in I want to say like a year or so.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, okay. I haven't been on a date.
But it's okay because it's what you're doing with the time.
Yeah,
I think like right now I'm in the space of I'm not against dating. I will say that, but I am not for casual exchange of energy. Because
explain to the guests what to the listeners what
so
they mean.
what that means for me is that I'm not in the place to casually sit and give. I'm always at my best. I feel like when I'm interacting with people,
as you should be. Yeah.
I'm always at my best. If I can't be, I'm not around people, and I know I bring a lot of energy, good, uplifting, motivating, and I'm allocating that differently now.
I love that though.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
allocating
self-care.
it. It is because it's I'm learning to listen more. I actually took a channel back in therapy to kind of like navigate through some emotional things that I have been, dealing with.
I love it.
Yeah, and just even speaking to my therapist is just like, Amber, sit back and listen more, and sit back and just continue to work on your boundaries and stuff like that. I'm living my life in reverse. I'm recently divorced.
Yeah.
So whereas when I was in my 20s, I was more like I had to get married by a certain age. I had to have children by a certain age. I had a daughter young. I had my daughter at 18, and I had my son later, and right after I was married, all by 28 years old. So I did a lot of things because that was the thing. Society pushes you to tell you this timeline that you have.
Feel like that.
And I'm in a place now that I'm not working against a timeline. And I love the question that you asked, so like what people, what women wish people knew. You get what I'm saying? And these are things I'm learning about myself. And it's like, even sometimes toning it down and not even making myself look like I just got everything under control. It's not even an act. It's just, chill. You get what I'm saying? I always put a lot of pressure on myself because a lot of people lean on me, depend on me in so many areas of life. That I almost sometimes feel like I don't have a choice but to be strong. But I feel like sometimes when you do that, you put people in a position to make you look like you just got it.
So how do you, I guess this is a question, and I'm asking this from you, but I'm also asking myself this question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you appear to need help when you've always had to have it together? Do you know what I mean?
I have learned to vocalize exactly what I need. One thing I am reassuring when it comes to communicating with people are my standards, what I require. Not beating you in the head with it, but here's the thing. I think sometimes we're not as vocal for our standards because we're worried that we're going to scare someone away. Yeah, but what I understand from this is that that's what my standards are supposed to do. They are supposed to make you flock or flee. Yeah. They are supposed to allow you to process what it is that you can manage, not what I can manage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I tell you hey, listen, I really need somebody to do this, and that, and you're not capable of it, you have a choice to say I think you're a nice person, but I think that's a little too much for me to take on.
I think that's what we don't do well. First of all, I think dating in 2021 from the woman's perspective is where it's past ghetto.
Ghetto. The dating pool has a little pee in it.
Got a little pee, a little sugar pee in it. But I don't think we date. I don't think we date, and I know my
collect
pastor,
data.
Yeah, I was gonna say my pastor would say, dating is collecting data to figure out if this is a good fit. No different than a job interview. I remember before going to job interviews, I used to feel like, they're interviewing me, right?
Nah.
Right? And
how you know you're going to like that work environment?
I was about to say, I got to a point in my career that I understood that. Hey, I came here to figure out if we're a good fit, not if I could get the job. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. When you're not in a state of desperation, right? When you're not in the state of I gotta get one right away, right? The pressure of people asking when you get to a certain age in society, when you get married, when you're having kids, when, that type of thing. When you finally get comfortable with who you are and you're healthy, you know what I mean? It's a different type of dating that happens, right? It's a different exchange that happens because you're no longer, I remember when, and I don't even know how old I was, but I really got the epiphany, wait a minute. Because my whole life, for a long time, I really felt like, I want to be the choice.
Pick me.
Not pick me, but the choice, like that you being in a relationship was the man choosing you.
Not the other side of it. Like, hey, are you beneficial
like,
too?
Hey, do
okay.
you bring anything to the table? So it took me a long time to really get there because in the age that I grew up anyway, it's like, oh, he will find you.
Yeah.
So,
I think religion also teaches us that,
I think so, but I think even stories teach us that. Like, you know what I mean? Television, all the fairy tales that we've ever read in our whole life kind of teaches us that.
The night is coming to kiss you and take you away.
Sweep you off your feet.
And just to throw you back over the walls like Simba. I'll hold you and throw you right in the blood.
But that's something that we've learned, whether it's directly or indirectly, that person gets to choose you, never really looking like
we choose each other.
Hey, we choose each other, and it's an exchange of that and really collecting data to say, hey, can I do that? I don't think we do that well, especially when we're young, because what you're kind of looking for at 20 ain't what you're looking for at 40.
Right. What do you think you wish men knew
about me?
And what you need, all of it.
So about me and what I need, I think there's a huge misconception with from the outside looking in. I think the strong part is one part, but also financial.
I have suffered.
I have suffered a great. My brother told me this. I think I had got like my first like real job and making a decent amount of money. And he was like, "Sis, it's gonna be hard from here on out dating." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, because men are not gonna be as comfortable with you making money." And I was like, ain't that how it's supposed to be? Like, we're both supposed to supply something, what you bring to the table, what I bring to the table. Right. And he was like, you're gonna either have to look at a different standard of man. And he was like trying to explain this whole thing. And I was just like, whatever, because that wasn't my thing. And it's still not. Like, I'm not and never have been like
showy
or whatever. Of course I want you to be pursuing
a secret millionaire, yeah.
I am not the millionaire.
She's a secret millionaire. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
But I think sometimes that can be the impression that people have that they assume, you know what I mean, for whatever reasons or whatever you're doing, whatever you do for a living, that they've equated that to a financial thing. So they're measuring what they're bringing to the table. It's not like I'm sharing what I'm making. You know what I mean?
But I think people, so it's like how you live or whatever, and we always use the word steward, right? It's about how you steward what it is that you have, right? Because like I think that's a huge disconnect between men and women as far as like, oh well, women are grossing larger now. Women are, I mean, men still dominate the field of when it comes to making money. Men are still the richest people in the country. However, women are grossing higher. Women do have more positions of authority. Women are now growing in education, but women also have more debt. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's really about how you steward your money, right? Because let's just say I could make $100K and you could make $60K, but if I spent all my money in 2 weeks and you still got yours with the $60K, it's how you manage it. So everything really isn't money. So most times
I don't think it's just money.
I think what I know in my personal experience, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. Most people who meet me now didn't know me from the very beginning. I used to work a job full-time and I used to run my business.
That would be me.
Yeah, and then then I lost my job and then went into full-time entrepreneurship, but I had the cushion of unemployment. Then I didn't have the cushion of unemployment anymore.
You also have children?
I have 2 children that I have to provide for. I am, like, I don't like to say this term single mom fully because their fathers do help or whatever, but like I still have to cover completely everything on my end, right? So I don't have alimony, I don't get all of that stuff, right? So I feel like I've had men tell me straight up, because where they see me now, like you see me now, you like, yo, she doing it up, she know mad people, she got connections, she's building this brand, but they don't understand like, yo, but you don't, this is now year 4. Going into year 5, this is not day 1. Like, you get what I'm saying? But and I've had a man straight up tell me, like, he doesn't know where he fit into my life.
Do you think that was a financial thing, though?
Absolutely, it was.
And see, for me, again,
he's like, you're on the rise, and I'm just, this is all I make, and I was just like, but
understand.
like, this is all I make or whatever, and I'm just like, but I'm not counting your pockets. Like, I'm not. I do expect. I will say this, like what I wish men knew, right? I do expect, like, to be able to depend on you in a time of need, but not solely depend on you.
But that's
a typical thing, but I think that's regular. Exactly, that's regular, meaning that, hey, something might have came up. Can you help me in this manner? And it may not even be monetarily. It may be you knowing how to do something that may save me a significant amount of money or whatever. So it's how you measure it. But a lot of those things are you. That's how are you secure with yourself? Because I know someone very close to me, him and his lady have very great salaries together. And he will tell you in a heartbeat, like, I love it. She up there with me. Like but that's his confidence within himself. So if you're confident within yourself, that's not gonna really bother you. You get what I'm saying? It's like, but is that my job to make you secure with me? No.
Do you think culture pushes that though for men to kind of look at the financial aspects? I know there's a ton of people out here who are preaching, the man should pay for 100% of everything.
I think what works for you. I always believe in that. I do feel like do what works for you. I don't have an opinion, to be honest. I just don't want to take care of you. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to take care of you, meaning that.
And what does that mean when you say you don't want to take
care of you in the sense that everything falls on me? Like, I've been in that situation before where it's like everything always impacts me.
Anyway.
Exactly, because if it starts feeling like, hey, it's more withdrawing than depositing, then it's no use here. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because that's too much for me, and I don't feel like it's right for me to have to bear the weight like that with a partner next to me. Like, if anything, things should be freed up a little bit. Like, I'll be like, sometimes
we both should be freer.
Yeah, like I laugh sometimes too, because you see the conversations on social media, be like, oh, I ain't 50-50 and nothing. And my thing is, shit, like, if somebody wanted to take like half of this rent away, like, look, listen, I don't know.
Y'all gotta have a conversation.
You got a little half, you got something on it. So again, it just depends on what works for you. Everybody you meet is not going to be in the same position. I've dated men who have had it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Who could take care of me any day of the week, give me things that I need, pay certain bills. Oh yeah, I've met
none of them.
I've met them, but it depends on what you're with, but you have to understand sometimes that may come with something.
Well, I was about to say,
I mean?
So I think I don't attract that because I've also, the majority of my life, most of it, I've just always, ended up with people who I bared the weight, unfortunately, and. Somebody asked me something that was very interesting because we were talking about relationships, and what he said to me was, if somebody came into my life that was able to take weight off, what I know where I stood in that.
How would you manage it?
And how would I manage it? How would I steward that? And I was like, I got to be very honest with you. I don't know because I never had that. You know what I mean? I never have had the relief of half. I don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean? I just know if I don't figure it out, it's not going to get figured out. You know what I mean? I've never really had that in relationship. But you also have to see,
but listen, on the flip side, that's okay for some people. Like, you get what I'm saying? Where they're okay.
I don't want to figure it out no more.
But it's okay. What I'm saying is, like that's okay. If you don't know what that feels like, it may require that person to come in and teach you what that actually feels like, or just be like, listen, I feel more comfortable like this. Like, for me, to be very honest with you, I don't want to live with anybody. Like, you get what I'm saying? I don't want to live with. I don't want to do that.
You mean live with them prior to marriage?
Marriage is not a priority for me anymore, if I'm very honest. Like, not saying that.
So when you're dating them, you don't want to get to the thing where you're shacking up?
No. I don't look look at it as shacking up, though. I don't look at it like that.
So when
I
you
feel
say,
like,
or you mean like move in there?
yeah, I don't want to move in with anybody. And I'm going to tell you a few reasons why I don't want
I'm
to.
listening because this is interesting.
Yeah, the reason why I don't want to is because I don't feel comfortable making very serious investments and commitments to people that I am not fully committed to. Like, and when I say that, that means like, I mean, if, like, say for instance, if you've asked me to marry you, we may move in together,
of course.
but it'll probably be closer to the actual wedding, opposed to like, oh, we got engaged, let's just move in together. Unless it's a discussion where it's like, listen, financially, this is going, the goal will have to be like, yo, financially, we have to do this because this is the only way that we're going to able to maybe tackle a goal like a house or something like that. It's a conversation, but I'm very honest with that. And I tell men that right away, I'm not moving in. I like my own space. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I think you should have your own space until we make a decision that we want to share space in a long-term way.
But
I'm okay with going to your house.
Now? Like, are people?
Yeah, people like, yo, you could see people who date each other in 2 months and they moving in together.
Oh no!
That's real.
That's a real thing.
That's a very real thing.
I just put love back on my vision board too.
It's a real thing. Because people, it's a oh my God, if I have you in here, it's gonna make life cheaper for me on a financial basis. But for me,
I feel like that's a test drive.
Yeah, I value my peace too much to put myself. If I'm still exploring you and I'm still learning you and I'm still trying to
test drive.
Yeah, there's no way I could move in with you.
What's that saying? You don't buy the cow
I would never. I'm not. I know me. Like, I'm not buying a house without my husband. I'm not buying. Like, if I buy a house, I'm gonna buy my house. If I had, you get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna buy a house, it's gonna be my house. I don't feel comfortable making an investment like that with a boyfriend. I don't.
Do people buy homes?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Okay. I mean,
a lot of people make a long-term commitment. So it's like, and guess what? Like,
in hopes that it will go that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a dating situation too where it's been like I had a person who was trying to rush me down the aisle for their own sense of security and stability, and I pumped the brakes on that. Like, nah, I'm still exploring. Whether that's something I even, we talked about earlier, we're choosing each other. So I'm still exploring if I even want to visit that area with you. And I think, women, it's okay to do that. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I guess I'm a hard dater. Because I'm sitting here listening, I'm like, well, I don't date like that anyway. I don't think I've ever been this single in my life. This is like probably the...
You single.
Like, I was about to say, what's the thing? I'm single.
I'm single now.
I mean, like...
yes, queen.
I feel like, even conversation, like we always say, time is currency, right? And I'm probably in the most productive place that I've ever been doing and pursuing what I've always wanted to do. I feel... I'm a little nervous in that area because I feel like I also don't want to slow down the process. I love extremely hard, right? And I really can't see. I know that there's space for somebody if I guess I came across them. That hasn't happened. But I think I'm a hard dater in the sense of I don't even want to do too much exchanging, like unless we just cool, but like too much exchanging if that's not...
Yeah, if that's not where we're...
If that's not where... people aren't... I don't know that people are really interested. I'm going to go to that, right? I always tell you this. I really think people are just trying to figure out if they still have it, and especially in this social media world, like I get... DMs and it's kind of like, got one yesterday. I'll give you a perfect example. Like, hey, do you live such and such? I'm like, I don't. Like, do you visit here? I'm like, I've been. And you're like, oh, when you're here next time or something, let me know.
Hookups.
Like,
people are okay with a lot of different hookups. So,
but who's do I look like a hookup girl?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
It's not like, you. It's just that's the hunt. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's just a hunt.
Nothing about. So here's the thing.
You look
about
like you travel though. You look like you travel.
I travel, right? But when I travel, I guess this is my question. When I travel, what's gonna make me want to see you when I'm in that area? Do you know what I'm saying? So if I live in Jersey and you live in Cali, right? If you inbox me and say, hey, do you live in Cali? I say, nah, but I come there. And you're like, yeah, well, let me know when you're here. It's kind of like, well, when I'm in Cali, I got stuff to do. What's going to make me want to reach out to you? Like, you've done nothing to make me interested. You've done nothing to exchange with me, to get to know me, to pursue me.
So you're
not that cute.
You're you're more of an in-depth person though.
So people ain't that deep. So how you?
Because here's the thing,
yes,
because social media is an environment that is overly stimulated, right? So if there's one person I'm interacting with, we inboxing, blah blah blah, you ain't answering fast enough, that's fine. It's two other people who do. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So and also too, I don't even feel like people ask you real questions to really get to know you anymore.
Yeah.
I read a post like that. It was like you just lust me. You may like me in my two-piece. You may like me, oh, she got a body. Oh, you may like my personality. Oh, she be out here. She be this. You want a part of that, but you don't see me. You just see what I'm doing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so is it fully, do you think it's fully, when you say you lust me, you think it's fully like, I'm just trying to hook up, have sex? Like, it's not. It's like a lust. It's like, I mean, honestly, when you first meet someone, most people, you either, if you like them, yeah, it's a physical thing.
Definitely. I love a good back.
Most people see you in a physical manner. It's no different now. Social media. The only thing with social media is that you have more people that you could do that to. And like, if you go to the grocery store, right, you ain't gonna go to up to 10 women in the grocery store. You may get like one or two out the deal before you leave, right? But on social media, I have thousands of options that I can kind of like take a pick at. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I had it was so funny. Y'all want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, I want to
tell my funny story.
Oh Lord.
Oh, so funny. Again, this goes back to standards, right? And this will definitely answer your question about absolutely. This will answer your question about what do women wish men knew or whatever. I don't mean to say whatever, but so I had a young man reach out to me because he knew one of my fellow friends.
Yeah.
And I even asked her about, I was like, who's this guy or whatever. She's like, oh, he's just da-da-da. So I said, oh, cool. So he was like, making himself be seen, of course, with the stories and, oh, hey, you're making yourself visible to me. Gotcha. Until you get an opportunity to say, or
you're
whatever.
Attracted, you're trying to...
Correct. You're trying to interact with me, but...
Catch your attention.
Exactly. You're trying to catch my attention. So again, we end up talking, da-da-da-da. And I was out with my children. We were going like strawberry picking, and I was going wine tasting. Mm-hmm. I'm adventurous like that. Like every day, every week, Amber somewhere, we're somewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm adventurous. So what do you see? You like, oh, she's dope. Like, she's going wine tasting. She's doing this. She's doing that. And you're like, oh, I want to do that. I've never done that before.
Okay.
Or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I said, well, next time I don't think it's gonna be available. Strawberry picking season's ending, right? It's like, okay, we could do something else. They asked me out.
Okay.
Right?
As they should.
They asked me out. He says, oh, hey, let's go here. And I said, all right, cool. When you want to go, blah, blah, blah. Set the date. And I was like, well, I think you should get a ticket before in advance because I said, because that's a busy weekend. It was like 4th of July weekend. I was like, you really, and this is why I don't casually date. So like I said, you should really get a ticket or whatever in advance. That's a busy weekend. You don't want to get there and you can't get in, whatever.
Yeah.
So he comes back and he's like, yeah, I got, no. I'm missing a key piece. I said to him, is this a date or an outing? And the reason why I asked that is because if I said that to you, if I said, is this a date or an outing, what would you take from that?
Are you really, really trying to get to know me with intentional purposes to possibly?
Not even that deep. Well, I'll tell you, this is what I mean.
What you mean?
Dating for me is courtship. Outing for me is going out on a friendship level.
But you don't know him, so y'all not really friends.
But that's what I dim as outing. It's a casual outing. Like, okay. You're just a person. I'm just right. But me either, right? So like, that's what honestly, if he would have said outing, I would have been like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, like, you get what I'm saying? That's not. Okay, I'm just not beat, right? So he said this was a date. The man came back and told me he got his ticket and he paid for parking. So I said to him, I said, so you just got your ticket? Right? Oh shit, y'all. So like, right? So he said, oh wait, no, he faked like he did some type of whatever. Came back a few minutes later, it's like, okay, I got your ticket too.
Did he send you the ticket?
Never seen the screenshot.
Okay,
but right. So I said, so let me ask you something. I said, were you only going to get your ticket? And he's like. He was like, oh no, I had kind of thought you got yours because you said get the ticket in advance. Whatever. He thought it was a miscommunication. Okay. I clarified. But this is where so he got the benefit of the doubt in that moment. Okay. Then he says to me, well, would that have been a deal breaker? I said, absolutely it would have. I said, because I asked you initially, was it a date or was it an outing? And he was like, oh, well, I kind of feel like I don't want to spend all the money like that in the beginning. So, number one, I feel like you lied, right? Because, like, I asked you straight up, were you not going to get my ticket? And you said you misunderstood me, but then you started going into, oh, I don't like to spend a lot of money when I first meet people because then...
I do I'm going to tell you I was about to say, I understand
I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you what I said to him because, again, this is about, are you listening to understand what I'm saying to you or what's going on here? So, we were talking or whatever, and he's like, well, I don't want to spend all this money or whatever on people because then I spend all the money and who loses in the end? I said, okay, let me be clear with you, okay? I said, listen, for me, I require courtship, like, upon getting to know someone. These are my standards, right? I require courtship. I do require a man to pick up the tab initially upon meeting me. This is not to say that it's absent of me not doing things for you. I'll find something to do for you. I'll make you lunch. Whatever. Yeah. I have my ways of, reciprocating the energy, right? Yeah. So I said, but here's a tip, right? Walking in a park is a date. Going out for ice cream is a date. Yeah. Going out for one drink is a date.
A picnic is a date.
I said, there's so many dates that are inexpensive. All it requires is just a little, thinking or whatever. Yeah. So
creativity.
I said, so if you're not in finance, number one, you have to ask yourself, are you financially in a place to date? Right? Because a lot of women may require that, right? Or, hey, listen, when I am in a place financially, or maybe I don't want to go over the top too much. I want to kind of invest in a person a little bit more before I start spending like that, right?
I'm
totally okay with that, right? Yeah. That's okay, but don't now project what you don't have on me because I never told you. Picked the date and you asked me. I didn't ask you. Y'all want to hear something crazy?
I want to hear it. What
Listen,
happened?
Told this man all this stuff. By the end of the conversation, he totally understood what I was saying. Blah blah blah. The next day, he blocked me. Listen, but here's the thing. But
you know what? That's
but
good.
I'm not in a place. Yeah. So
okay
here's the thing, right? So some women might have felt like, damn, that's rejection. Oh my God, he hurt my feelings. When I tell y'all my feelings wasn't hurt because I knew exactly what I was saying. He didn't want to hear it. All he heard was courtship. This is going to cost me money and I'm losing. That's what he heard. He didn't hear he heard whatever he wanted to, but that was based on where he is with himself. That has nothing to do with me. You. But again, ladies, the thing is, that is what your standards are supposed to do. They make them flock or they make them flee. And I have no regrets. Like, I'm in a good place with myself. I'm not going to scale back because you can't step up. Like, that's just it.
So I think I think the thing, too, that we want men to know, and I love that you said, like, walking in the park is a date. Mm-hmm. getting ice cream as a date. Like, it doesn't have to be
Ruth Chris. Like,
I don't even like Ruth Chris.
Right.
I'm gonna be very honest with you, but that's a whole.
I like
that's
Mexican. Anybody who looking to take me out.
That's my opinion.
Look, if you looking to date me serious, take me to Mexican. Take me to some Mexican food.
Yes, that's the way. Look, that's the way to her
way to my heart.
And burrita. But I think that is a misconception that you have to go above and beyond when you first meet somebody, when you really don't know them. He wasn't ready. He not ready to date anybody.
No.
He needs to go on some dates with himself.
Yeah.
And he probably shouldn't be in anybody's inbox, let alone your inbox with that. I mean, or
you had whatever agenda you had. You knew you couldn't execute it with me.
I was about to say, if you gave out the invitation, because I'll never get that far. I'm gonna be very honest. I never get that. I never get that far.
Men be like, let me fly you out. It'd be crazy.
I think that people don't know where to put me. And they can't really figure me out because it's kind of like the approach is. Most of the time, I think when men do approach me, especially on social media, it's just to see if I'm going to respond. I don't think you want anything. I don't think you want anything. I don't think you have in your head that you're going to take me out or do anything. You like to sell wolf tickets, and I only give you so much room to do that because I'm very nice to people in general because I'm open. Who knows where he's coming from, right? I'm very open to he may DM me. He may be somebody I know. I might bump into him. He might be the janitor. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna be. When I bump into him, I'll know that, right? I could be walking in the park, so I'm so open to that. And, I'm just naturally friendly. Like it's like, hey, but I don't think that men really. I don't think a lot of them want to really date.
I think it's a hunt. It's just a hunt.
I don't think it's a hunt because I think a hunt looks different. Like at least like, maybe I give off something that is like. Oh,
I have men tell me they love me in a week or two. It's a hunt thing for me. I'll be like, and you know what? Oh my God, y'all have no idea the type of heathens that I encounter. But it's crazy because like the men that I meet really want to give me the moon and the stars. They really do.
So what ends up happening?
What happens is that they don't have it. Okay, they don't have it. I've had men literally tell me they want to get to know me on vacation. We go on vacation. They have nothing after the vacation because.
Do you think they feel like you require a lot?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is what I want people to know about me, I'm going to do that regardless. Like, if I don't go out with you, I got friends.
But I don't feel like, so here's the thing.
And we do, like, believe it or not, we do affordable stuff.
I don't feel like, we travel and stuff, but
we ain't go to Turks and Caicos yet. I've got to put that out there. We ain't go to Bali yet. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that yet, but the things that we do are manageable.
It's regular stuff.
But I've had men who come in full throttle. We out 3 times a week, and then somewhere they can't maintain that because they don't know. Like, I really do this in real life. Like, I go out really every week, not a club or anything like that, but I do different. I have all different types of experiences. I go on vacation. I'll fly out to Chicago. I'll take a trip to Boston. I'll take a trip to Philly. Whatever. Like, that's just what I do. I'm a big spirit. I'm very adventurous. So whether it's with you, I'm going to do that regardless. It's nice if you want to join me or whatever, but I'm going to still do that regardless. So I'm not asking you alone and solely to uphold or live up to what it is that I do, because I'm going to ultimately do everything to make me happy. You're not my source of happiness.
It's not like you're asking them to fund that.
But I feel like a lot of people that I meet look at me as their source of happiness. And I'm not anybody's source of happiness.
You overextend though.
I do.
You overstimulate people.
My therapist too has pointed out that I overstimulate people. And what that means is that I give people a lot of attention.
And if you overstimulate unhealthy people, there's an expectation of that. Like we always say that I
and I'm touch and go. Even though
I talk to you, I'm not gonna be like
right. And here's the thing: the people that I overstimulate, that's not really overstimulation relation to me. That's the crazy thing. How I make you feel is just who I am, but it's learning the type of people to give that to, because here's the thing. What I give and what I offer people, like, you can call me, we could joke, we could talk, we could this, we could that, we can go out, have fun, whatever. I will be totally okay if I didn't hear from you in 24 to 72 hours.
Yeah.
I will be literally fine.
Yeah.
Those people
though? Outside of the unhealthy.
Outside of what you personally know about me, people can't handle that with me. They almost. Ladies, I go through boy problems. That's it. I do. I really do.
We're trying to get you to a healthy place of.
I mean, I'm healthy,
but a healthy place of dating.
It's me. The choices.
I think it's who you choose, and then
But I'm learning to choose differently now, though.
I think we all are. I think for me, it's and people are like, "Are you tired of waiting?" I'm like, dating is something that I love. It's a bonus right now. I've never been happier.
Literally.
This
is how I feel too.
I've literally never. This is probably the best space that I've ever been in. I'm okay. You know what I mean? I can have a bad day and still be okay.
Yeah, a week. I can have a bad week and be fine.
I love the connections that I have.
My friends are bomb. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yes,
yo, let me tell y'all something too. My friends are mad dope, like, in real life. So when you don't come with your A game with me, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm very conscious of that, because I want people to come into my life, see how dope the friendships and the connections in my life and powerful they are, that when you walk into it, you almost feel insecure and like you don't fit if your intentions aren't good.
But I think you will.
The right person will.
Yeah, I think I'm talking about. I think people who don't fit will feel uncomfortable.
Yes, they should. You should. You should bounce. You should pack it up, like, because it's not for you. You should. But that's how powerful. So if you come into somebody's life who, if you kind of see like, oh, her father treat her a little bad, her brother treat her bad, oh, this person don't, she got shaky friendships, she got this, she got that. You're almost coming in to be like, okay, this is what she tolerates, this is what she allow. But when you see my stuff is super solid and there's no chaos in my life, you ain't bringing your chaos here. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. You're not going to fit. So back to the original point, what I wish men knew about women, you get what I'm saying, is that you're putting probably too much pressure on yourself. Really listen to what it is that someone's telling you that they need. That's why the 5 love languages exist. Shout out to that book. I read it when I was married. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why that exists. Because here's the thing. You come home to me and you had a long day of work, right? And I'll be like, hey, I got you a Rolex, right?
Look at me.
And your love language is touch. You just wanted a hug. Yeah. What am I doing here?
Don't know why I got that Rolex.
And I wish that men and women really listen more to each other and adhere to what it is that they need. Because what most people do naturally is love you how they want to be loved, and you can't always do that.
I think 2 things. I think people love the way that they want to be loved, or how they've loved somebody else in the past.
Mm-hmm. You can't assign everybody the same.
How they are used to loving, and I think that applies to all across the board. I think that me and you have talked about this. I think it applies to love. I think it applies to sex. Mm-hmm. I think it applies to communication. I feel like it's so hard sometimes to get people who have been in a relationship before, a marriage before, that hasn't taken the ample time to heal and kind of get back, and is in an open place to receive that person and really articulate, hey, this is what I need, and then listen to what they need and what they want, and be able to say, hey, can I meet that standard, or I'm not going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you're a good person. And that happens. I definitely in the past have met great guys that I'm just like,
I definitely met good guys.
That's not gonna.
It's not gonna work for me. Yeah,
it doesn't work for me. I need something different. But I think too, and I always say this to you because you're always like, I know exactly what I want. And I'm like, I feel the opposite. I know exactly what I don't want.
Yeah,
and I don't know that I've met exactly what I need.
I've met it in different people.
But that's why I'm saying I don't think that, and that's why I say I don't know that, because I sometimes think that need is something that sometimes we don't really know that we do. You ever had, like, I'll use us and not in that form of fashion, but I'll use our relationship in that form of fashion. Like, I don't think that we knew that we needed each other to do what we're doing even now. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't want to miss it. I know Tamara has said that one. I miss her. Shout out, babe. She's all the way in Egypt. She's in Egypt now. But I don't want to miss it because I don't want to have this like boxed in thing of really, really what I need. I know some things that I do want in the sense of that. Like,
I think focus on your deal breakers.
I would like
right?
to have. I definitely know a lot of things that if none of my past relationships has taught me anything, they have 100% taught me of what is a no-go for me and what is not acceptable. So my deal breakers. But I definitely want somebody who I don't have to over-explain to, who gets me.
Oh, God. I'm so
guilty of that.
Over explaining myself. Yeah. I don't do it, and I like you. Well, you've seen it recently, right? That no means no, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't want to have to explain. I don't want to have to.
Like, every little thing is like, well, I'm only doing this because it's almost like I'm apologizing for being me.
I hate that.
Yeah, like I think it's crazy because I'm super honest. Like, so the golden rule about Amber, what is it? I don't like calls on Sundays. I don't really like to interact too much with people on Sundays because I'm a
late Sunday or
Sundays are my work day. Like, I know it looks like I'm out here living my best life, but really behind the scenes, I work extremely hard. And on Sundays is one of the busiest days ever for me during the week. And I really don't like to be bothered like that. I watch a little church in the morning, like before stuff really starts hitting the fan. But I really don't like calls, and I don't like making plans on Sunday. It's extremely hard for me to do that without ample notice and stuff like that. So even if I'm dating, I don't really like company on that day because I'm crabby. Like, you get what I'm saying? I just work like 16, 18 hours, like on top of probably handling the obligation the day before. And then on Fridays, I'm extremely busy too. So I don't really like to be bothered on Sunday. So I communicate that. You get what I'm saying? And I want to be able, I want someone to understand that without having to say, whoa, da-da-da-da-da, or, you know what I'm saying? Or understand too, like I remember I was dating someone before, and I would work on Sundays, and it's just like, you could see I'm really not in that space. And I've already explained to you, I don't program myself to be in this space. I just know that's how it goes. I'm under a lot of pressure. Like, we have very busy juice weekends. Like, you know, I got to get a driver out. It's just too much. Like, it's a lot. And for me, I want to be able to tell a person, like, listen, like, if you want to come into my space, you got to do something that don't really require me to think much. Like, just be like, listen, I brought dinner over because I know you just had a long day.
Yeah. But that's us observation and somebody being equipped enough to see you. And
I don't have to over-explain
to almost be 2 steps ahead of you, or a forward thinker.
Yeah, I need someone like that. Yeah, I need someone who can see that for me. Because I would say my love language is acts of service.
Yeah.
Taking the load off. Yeah. For me. Like, because I have heavy loads.
I don't know. I have a combination of love languages.
Yeah. I mean, they all exist in my life. Yeah. But if I had to name a top one, it's definitely acts of service. Believe it or not, my last love language is words of affirmation. Not a big one for me.
I don't think words of affirmation do a whole bunch for me.
Because I know. Listen.
I mean, it's nice to hear, but it's not really.
It's words. It's not action to me. Like, it's nice. I think it's dope for a man to, you know, compliment someone. If that's naturally in you, where you say, "Hey, babe, you look beautiful,"
I mean, I'm
gonna take it. Yeah, I'm an encourager. But that's not what I need to fuel me in a love situation. That's just words to me. Like, words without action is just.
Nothing.
It's words.
It's words.
That's it. I mean, like that's how I view it. I think it's dope because some people need that. Some people need to be told they're beautiful, they look nice. Oh, you're not this, you're not that.
I told that, but I don't know.
But I don't need it in that. I remember I was talking to someone who did that, and I had to like tell them, please stop. Like just don't do that. How about you? How about you come and take out my garbage? Come and take out my garbage. That's what I need. I need you to come and take out my garbage.
We gonna hire somebody to take out.
I need you to send money, not what you're doing to me. How about that?
But see, so is it more important that he takes care of that himself, or that he just provides someone who does?
Listen, either way, there's more. Listen, there is the destination is the destination.
Yeah.
Shout out to David Shands because I love that he said that. You can change the direction. It doesn't mean change the destination. And what that means is that there's so many ways you can do one thing. I don't care whether if you physically come and take out freaking 15 garbage bags, great. If you're not in that space to physically do that or can't manage it, send someone to help me.
Yeah, I need consideration. I was in a relationship. I'm just sitting here thinking, and my car could be sitting outside, and their car would be sitting outside, and they would go wash their car, and my car would be dirty.
Lord.
And I could never get out.
That's an act of service.
It would like piss me off.
Trash.
I'd be like, you know how you'd be like, yeah.
Oh, let me not say trash. I had got I'll tell you that Facebook like blocked me for a day because I said trash. Yeah.
Please don't say trash then. But I remember the feeling. So I don't know what that is, but I don't like to be overlooked in that aspect. Like what about my car sitting next to your car didn't say to you when you drove, like all while you were driving your car to get it clean, you never like thought to look at my car and like take it? I just, it's something about that. Like I don't function like that.
Yeah, but I think that comes with us choosing people who do those things. Like you get what I'm saying?
But is that because they feel like I'm gonna do it myself?
No, they did it because they never have been required to do that.
To ever take up that.
That's it. That's why I tell them day one, look, take out this trash.
Not day one.
Take out this trash. Take out this trash, baby boy. He's like, I ain't even gonna hold you. Hi, my name is Amber. Take out my trash.
Yeah.
Like,
I need somebody who's intentional.
Definitely, because I'm intentional and I'm very observant.
But their approach has to be very intentional. You're gonna have to make it clear. Like you reaching out, you kind of allowing, you know how people kind of reach out and it's kind of the mystery of like what this is. Like I don't have the mystery and my brain is so focused on other stuff. I got school, I got the kids, I'm in a mentorship program, we're doing a podcast, doing other podcasts, doing social media marketing. So when it comes down to it, like it's gonna have to be a clear, concise, like, hey, I want to date you, and then the action of dating. Because if not, I don't see anything else. I'm just like, are they just saying hey?
I want to read something that I thought was extremely powerful, and it speaks on what you're actually talking about.
Okay. What is that? Because I need to hear it.
It was like really good, and it put so much into perspective. Hold on, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, because I need to, I need to hear it.
Yeah, because again, it points back to standards, right? And it also points back to communication and telling people what it is you need. So this says, and this was actually by Jada Pinkett Smith, and it says, have the courage to say what you need in the moment. Most people aren't mind readers. 2 things will happen. You'll either get what you need or realize that the source you are asking doesn't have the capacity to deliver. Both are gifts.
That's good. It's definitely a good. I think that was your word of wisdom.
That's my words of wisdom.
It was Jada Pinkett's word of wisdom.
Listen, I borrowed it. No, but literally, when that again, to extend that goes back to a point that I made earlier in the show. Even when communicating people and hoping what you wish they hear, right? I something I said the other day. I can't make you see with your own eyes. right?
No,
It's not my job. You can't make people do anything, right? But I can communicate to you what it is that I need, and however that filters through where you are, because it has to do with how healthy you are, your security level, your confidence level, right? So whatever it is that I'm asking or I'm requiring from you, however that filters through you,
Gotcha.
It's my standards. They're not going to change, right? These are my standards. This is what I am not demanding from myself, but requiring from myself, right? And it's supposed to either make you flock or flee. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think for me, I would say for people who are like, decide whether or not you really want to date and what that looks like. Because I really don't think people really want to date. I don't. I think people are just trying to see if they still have it. They are just
overstimulation too.
Probably overstimulation, but just reaching out. I think if you aren't ready to date anyone, you probably don't want to go messing up somebody who's happy and doing their thing. Like, just leave them alone. You know what I mean? Why reach out? Why do that? It doesn't make sense. I don't understand that. But I think, understand if you're in a place to date. And I know that looks different for everybody. So my standard of where I am to date, like, I'm open to dating. I just haven't met anybody to date, that is available.
It's careful and intentional. And it's okay. Like, I don't want all them crazy spirits and energy in my life. I don't like, because depression is real. And that's a whole nother topic that we'll talk about. But like, even if you have sex with a depressed person, what makes you think that transfer of energy is not going to happen to you? People never wonder, like, wow, all of a sudden I'm dealing with this person and my mood has changed. Everything has shifted.
Because people don't necessarily.
That's an exchange. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that to give. I've dealt with a depressed person before, and when I am generally happy. That's what my friends call me, the human sunflower. I really am. Like, I generally wake up happy, a joke, a laugh. I'm not happy all the time, but I am mostly a happy person. And when I have someone who comes into my life, whether it be a friend or a lover or somebody like that come into my life and they are heavily depressed, that weighs on me. I'm a feeler. I'm an empath. So I can't allow that type of stuff. And sometimes people just want you, like even the guy that I was telling you the story about, he told me he was an introvert. And I'm like, no. I don't know. I can't say I'm not going to date an introverted person, but that could be a struggle for me depending on where you are with yourself.
Yeah, because I think you might need somebody who's calmer than you are.
What you mean?
Just what I said. Who's calmer than you are. Because I think it will be a balance.
A balance, definitely.
Of that.
I always say that though. So I can't date me.
I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I love that you said. Watching people's energy and spirit of when you interact with them. I'm so sensitive to spirit. It's
scary.
So yeah. I'm not necessarily an introvert, but because I'm so empathic and because I feel so deeply, it's hard for me to sometimes be in certain spaces. I have to take a break and kind of retreat so I can get rejuvenated to even be around people to that extent. So I definitely think that's important in dating, that you want to pick somebody who, when you're spending your time with, you're not leaving them and leaving worse, right? The interactions between anybody should feel better. I should leave you feeling like, dang, I'm glad that we came out. Emotionally, I think people got to be ready to date. And I just think we have to use relational intelligence when it comes to dating. Like,
shout out to Dr. Darius.
Yes, you have to get that book, because you have to do that, and also get boundaries. It's an amazing book.
It really is. I got to start reading it.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that to email a friend.
Yeah, I'm halfway through, but it's a good book. But I would just say, we touched on so many things, but women don't necessarily, it doesn't always have to be a financial thing. No. We're looking for love, and I think men are looking for love too. We're waiting. For me, this is my words of wisdom. I I used to feel like I want to fall in love. I really want to grow in love. I'm over the fantasy things that we sell on TV.
And we want to need you. We want to need you.
I need no different than I need my regular relationships, our friends, you know what I mean? I need those friendships. I definitely want to need my husband. I definitely want to need my man, like, of course. And I want him to feel needed. I think that's a misconception that we've gotten so strong. We are wearing so many capes and feeling like we always have to be strong, that there's a disconnect, that I don't need no man, and what that actually means. Yeah, you do. There is something that a man brings into the home, brings into your life that can't be supplied by your homegirls. It can't. It just can't. The right man. Yeah. That doesn't mean, pick up Scooby-Dooby-Doo on the, the way. But I'm just saying. But you know what I'm saying? The right person. And I'm always waiting for the right person, because I feel like,
and you keep waiting. He coming.
I know that he's coming, because I know that I know what I bring to the table. I know that I'm valuable. I know that whether good, bad, or indifferent, I don't care what anybody I've ever dated says. When you left, you were better.
Yep.
When
Always.
you left
Anybody
me, you
who
were
comes
better.
In my life, they leave better.
I 100% understand my value, and I want to be able to give that to somebody else, but I also want to be able to get that from somebody else.
Absolutely. And you deserve it.
Yeah, you do
love
too.
You, friend.
I love you too, friend. Thank you for coming
We
through.
put love on our vision board, so, you ain't got to see my man ever.
I'm going to tell y'all when I get a boo.
But we're working on that.
Yeah. I mean, again, I want it private. I don't want a secret.
Yes. Definitely.
I want to keep
You'll
it private.
See us when you see us.
Stable. Yep.
So if y'all see me with somebody, mind your business. See me somebody else. Tell me who cute.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half. Not a year and a half, but a little over a year since I even been on a date. So
okay. God working on him.
He got to come right. He got to come right.
And with a back.
He got to have that back, bro. That's an insider, but yes. I love a good bag.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Of course. It's always a great exchange. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.